All right, there we are. I'll just make a post.
My hair looks like it. Have you been cutting your own hair, Seth?
Am I what? Sorry.
Have you been cutting your own hair?
I have actually. Yeah. Well, no.
I just
Charlotte's been doing it for me, but it's not great.
yeah.
I've done a few little trims.
I just cut my own. I just cut it all off a few
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
ago, and I was just going back. But it's been going kind of mental, so I need to pay attention. All right.
Our barber's open in Ireland. Hairdressers.
No,
No,
maybe there's talk next month. Maybe next month. So what's this
really.
April? Oh, maybe yeah, they'll be fucking crazy.
Ours have been open now
Trying to
for
get
a little bit, like a week,
until
I think. So I'm seeing an opening attempt now. Is that what you've just seen?
yeah, and Antropov. Fuck, that was nice. He's still a teenager, I think. Do we have his date of birth? I wonder. I
He's
think he's still a teenager.
21.
Well, fuck.
Well,
Okay,
I've
he's
got
still
him at
very young.
21, but I thought he was a teenager as well.
He's a bit of these young Cas boys are fucking laying down the law. They're going to be a very good team if they don't get banned.
Yeah, for
They're going to
sure.
be very good. He's got a massive clean and jerk of at least 220, I would think.
Yeah, and he basically powers everything as well.
Yeah, he's got that kind of Gabriel like lack of full or like kind of full ankle extension or something.
So here's Beck Dulot. He approached me at the World Championships. Like he's like a very big guy, and he just like saw me, made a beeline for me, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you have any tape?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I got some tape."
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I gave him some tape.
Go, babe. Yeah, no problem. He's he used to be 96, right?
Yes, he might be wearing it right now.
It
looks kind of blue. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, this is the 102s. We're watching this on the Facebook stream. Oh, I gotta remember to not click off the page. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, I don't see it on YouTube yet.
Oh, really? Yeah, we've got people on the chat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Weird. YouTube's really selective with that. Wow, that was easy.
Okay, I think we're basically on the exact same time, which is good. I think we're sunk up pretty nice. I just want to make this a bigger screen. Enlarge. Yes.
You can make you make Facebook full screen.
Oh, and if I do that, it doesn't pause it when I go off the page as well. Perfect. All right, so Beck Balot Rathcat coming out. So
he's 27. I'm sure of it.
He's what did he say?
He's 17.
Yeah, he is.
210 and 50.
Yeah.
Criminal. All right, 165.
Wait, he did 210?
Yeah, when he was 15.
Are you sure?
94. Yeah, 100%. Fucking hell.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, so he's definitely at most 17 right now.
Yeah, he's 17. Because I've got the other guy, Artyom Antropov, the other Kazakh. I got him as having only done 197, but I've definitely seen him do like 215 with the Blues.
Oh yeah, he's done 220 at their kind of prime or comp or in-house comp a few weeks ago. It's like 221, I think.
And here he is again.
165. They're not great at snatching. Not great. That's probably the wrong word. They're not as good at snatching as they're clean and jerking.
Yeah, I mean, this guy basically powers all of these snatches.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Romanians. It's just a lot of speed, power, strength, and a lot of snatch, clean, jerk.
Yeah, I think it is going to be easy. Wow, I mean, you got to ask yourself though.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you don't. I mean, you just have to assume that there's some kind of biomechanical impasse, but like, it's crazy that he doesn't ever go lower than that.
Like that's rock bottom for him, though. I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like it's a technical thing. It's like he probably can't go lower.
I
wonder why.
Snatch. That is such a nice snatch.
Yeah, it is. It's perfect. And it's the same with his clean. It's so nice, and he catches it in that pow position.
Yeah, but he gets a really good bounce as well.
Yeah.
these are such just casual lifts from these two lads. This is I like this. Younger lifters, big competition.
Yeah, same.
Like let them nail easy, not easy lifts, but solid lifts. Like you don't want to be putting pressure on them next year. They're
Hmm.
not going to the Olympics next at the end of this year with another competition. The next Asians
Right, right.
aim for five something. Woo! There's the big boy. He's looking better body composition lately, isn't he? He's looking
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
as he's looking a bit more
Especially
muscular.
in that hoodie, Meso's looking kind
Yeah,
of yoked.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
These
if, I mean, it should be easy for Meso just because of, he's got the clean and jerk. But like,
yeah.
there are the two Iranians in this category.
But I
Reza
don't know if they
Dadal's
have
on 219. So it's not like a small clean and jerk.
I don't know if they have 220 plus in them though.
No. I think realistically, if all things go well for Meso, he's going to look to do something around 82-32. Because I don't
Yeah,
think
you
he's going
think?
to set a record in the snatch in the 102s. Because there isn't a world record
What's
yet, but he's not going to hit it.
no, no, no.
I think he'd need, let me just check. So the world standard is 191. So he'd have to beat that, wouldn't he? So he'd need 192 in the snatch, which he won't get. But
Yeah,
the world standard is 231 in the clean and jerk. So 232 world record would do it. And he did
yeah.
do that in training. Wow. What a snatch.
None of the Iranians lift the same, but they all have like the same kind of technique. You know what I mean? Like none of them look similar, but it's
No.
all similar lift.
But they all jump slightly forward and they all just throw
Yeah,
themselves down. Like no Iranian lifter has what you call a big pull. Like when you compare
no,
them to other people in the categories.
they they all seem to have very strong squats. A lot of them, like
Yeah.
Muradi, Rostami, Hosen, all of them seem to
Do you
be
think
huge squatters.
Rostami does have a strong squat?
Yeah, I've seen some videos of him squatting, and he looks like he was squatting 220 there in the training hall
Mm-hmm.
as a 81, and it looks like he'd still do like 250 or 260, maybe
Yeah.
more. 270 even. It's hard to tell, maybe. There is a video of him squatting on Instagram, not Instagram, YouTube, I think.
This is such a young
Uh,
category. This is the other Iranian. He's also 22. Rasul Motamedi, opening at
that's the one.
176. He's got the Rastami hair.
160. So many Iranian lifters. Just there's just an insane amount on their teams who are just doing really decent weights.
Oh,
Oh,
that was easy, really. Like he can make over
yeah,
170.
yeah. They're pretty lean for 102s, aren't they?
Yeah. Who was the uh, who was the 102 world champion? Two-time world champion.
Eoin won it in 2019, didn't he? Was it
Yeah.
Eoin?
So before that, it was 2018 world champion and 2017. Looks like a big Rastami. Let me pull it up. I'll find it. Ali Hashemi.
Oh,
It's
yes,
funny
yes,
because
yes,
like
yes.
Ali Hashemi like perfectly filled this gap where there was a lull
Yeah,
of really good like 105s. And
yeah,
then when the 102 category came out, he could cut to it and still be sick. And then as soon as he's gone up
yeah,
to 109 and he's got to go up against like
yeah.
the Uzbeks and Simon and like it's just he doesn't have the strength to go up against the proper big boys.
No.
For those wondering,
Is he lit?
Zach is I think is he on a plane? He's on a flight, or he's about to get on a flight, isn't
I think he said at like 5 o'clock he'd the flight or something, so
he?
he's probably
He's
getting up
probably at
soon.
the airport. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only
Question
that
in the
many lifters
chat.
in this.
No,
Yeah.
there's not. It's like 6. Who is the most aesthetic weightlifter? One person says Lou. One person says she.
Lee Lee Hong Lee.
Who?
Lee Hong Lee, remember him? 2005, 85 kilo lifter.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
Yeah,
Was
so
he
jacked.
China's? Was he China before Liu
Yeah,
Yong?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah, Liu Yang was in that competition too, but Liu Yang was like a baby in that
yeah.
competition.
Really young, and then he became the big thing. And then Tian Tao overtook him. Oh, that's a
Nice.
nice snatch. You know what? I This is one of the first Iranian weightlifters I've seen where I've thought you've got a lot more in you, like in the pull.
Yeah, yeah,
Like even with
yeah,
Rostami's openers, I know he opens too heavy, but same with Ali
yeah.
Hashemi and a few others.
Yeah.
Um, it just you don't ever think they have any more, but this guy looks like he has a lot more, which is nice because he's
I'd
young.
love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to see a bit of potential.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at I don't know if you saw, but Rastami had the last kind of month had been putting up a lot of training on his Instagram lives and stuff, and he's just
Yeah,
been
yeah,
doing
yeah.
exclusively no contact lifts,
No
no
contact
contact
and
cleans,
some
no
no
time.
foots as well. Yeah, no contact, no foot.
I'd love,
Weird.
yeah, I'd love to know what was he doing?
I
I
wonder
feel
if
like
he
he
saw
fits.
like because obviously he jumps forward a lot, which isn't necessary.
Yeah,
Like it's just it's a feature, not a bug. But for him at
yeah,
least, I wonder if he was like,
yeah,
oh, if
yeah,
I do no foot, I'm gonna strain out my pull, and I'm not gonna jump forward. But at this point in his career,
yeah,
it's like, well, you jump forward, that's how you lift. So just
yeah,
you can't change it
yeah.
now.
But it was just weird. Like it just
Mm.
seemed. I feel like he's a very difficult lifter to coach. I'd imagine.
I think he's impossible to coach, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, here's 168. Artem Antropov, Kazakhstan.
Uh,
This to go 3 for 3.
Easy.
Ooh, wow. So wide in the grip. He's got that Armenian upper body.
Yeah. The speed is crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're very fast.
Yeah, apparently, I was talking to
Someone's asking.
Sergey, and Sergey was saying how, like, the athlete coach relationship just has to be that coach is always, like, the athlete is always answerable to the coach. But with Rostami,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
the coaches can't say to him,
Yeah.
oh, I think you should take 211. He's like, 216. And they can't be like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And then when he misses it and he
Yeah.
walks off, what does he, like, he
Yeah.
must just be like, but they can't say
Whatever.
anything. Like,
Yeah.
they've fallen underneath him, unfortunately. And it
That's
does
it.
call
It's
for
a
really
terrible.
silly decisions.
Yeah. It's a terrible. Athletes do not know best. Like
No,
unfortunately,
no.
like in any position, like you could be a good coach, but as soon as you're doing your athletic stuff, like you can't be objective. Like that's why
Mm-hmm.
there's coaches. Meso and Ritvars are like two great people who are just like whatever coach says, that's
Yeah,
what happens. Like no
yeah,
matter what, even down to like warm ups, training sessions,
yeah.
just no matter what. And that's why they're two of the best. Well, I know Rick Ferris hasn't had great competitions, but
Oh
easy.
wow,
Oh,
my God,
guys,
these
they're
two
the
young
future.
athletes. Wait, is
Man,
this guy?
17. What?
Yeah, this guy is.
17.
Yeah, he is Kazakh. Yeah,
Yeah, Rakat. He's actually better clean and jerky as well, so I'm very interested to
mm.
see what.
Yeah. Meso is like just you ask him like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I don't know. Coach says. And I think
Hmm.
sometimes when you put that much faith into a coach, things work out really well. And I've seen, because obviously,
Yeah.
like at this, you've interviewed a lot. I've interviewed like hundreds of elite athletes at this point, and
Hmm.
they're either really involved in the training process and they've got a good mind, and you can tell that they might become decent coaches, or they're like
Yeah.
almost worryingly ignorant about what they do. Not worrying,
Hmm.
but it's like you just can't
Yeah.
believe that they understand so little about it. Ooh, tough
Yes.
miss. But it's just like
Yeah.
sometimes some of these athletes are just so talented that everything worked. They
Yeah.
never had to invest in understanding what works and what doesn't. And they just have this like
Hmm.
confirmation bias of I train hard and I get
Yeah.
better. Therefore, as long as you just keep training hard, you'll get better. And they don't understand
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
the subtleties of what's going on for the coaches and for
No.
all other athletes. And they
Yeah.
turn into
That is that
awful
problem.
coaches.
Oh no, that is the problem. Like people, yeah, there's that like really positive user bias you get from just being, and there's a lot of people, and we won't name any names, but there's a lot of people like that who just
Yeah.
are very good athletes, and they're just like, this is just what you do, and then you get better, and
Okay.
you're like, that's not how it works for 99.9%
Yeah. Yeah.
of anyone lifting weights.
Yeah, you're a very
Um,
special person. Like you'd have to pick a really, really bad program to not become national champion.
yeah,
I mean, like you're so
absolutely,
talented. Like, I mean, it's like you
yeah,
were doing with your reaction to LeBron that we were talking about the other day. It's like the training program for him doesn't make him LeBron. He's LeBron.
No.
And with some of these
LeBron,
lifters, like the programming obviously is hugely important, but there are people out there doing Bulgarian, there are people doing Chinese style, there are people doing 5x5.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, these are top athletes are just top athletes regardless of what they do. The system helps.
Yeah.
But they're just so talented.
Meso's kind of involved a bit. Like he has a good idea if you talk to him. Like he's pretty enthusiastic about stuff when you ask him about it. But like he'll always defer to his dad if you're there with him about the training and stuff. But he's kind of in tune, but he doesn't want to impose his knowledge, like, because he doesn't care, He's just like, oh, this is why we do this thing, But sometimes he's not even like, the block stuff is the funniest thing, Watch this.
Really high hip start. Really high hip. Yeah, the block stuff, I remember Meso started doing it and he messaged me. He's like, I'm going to hit 190. I'll send you a video soon. I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, I think actually I'll hit 200. And I think maybe he made 80. And that was it.
Yeah. I think he got 85 was the best, I think. So I was looking at Ibrahim's Instagram the other day. Like, but they start every training cycle with blocks. Like every training cycle, starts with blocks, But
I think that's because they're doing so many heavy pulls from the floor. It's just like wherever you can do something that's technically difficult, just make it as simple and remove the lower back as possible.
He said they do it because they get some really heavy weights really soon, so you get confident.
Yeah.
So like you get back to 180 really fast.
Are you better off blocks? Because like I've never lifted. I can't snatch as much off blocks as I can from the floor. A lot of people can.
Years ago, I would have.
Oh, really?
I used to be a long time ago, but now from the floor is the best.
Yeah, you finally got a pull. So you never used to have a pull on you, but you do now.
Yeah, a lot of deadlifts, technique and deadlifts, like that's what.
Wonderful,
decent.
Yeah, I mean you're built to squat, so you're always going to be in a situation where you probably the hardest thing for you in a clean is getting under it rather than standing it up. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's like, can I get up with it? Like, I can get under it, but I can't always get up with it. Like, the number of times I've been under a 150 clean, and I'm like, finally, and then my legs, they fail me.
Yeah, like, it's for hangs and blocks, I think if you can do 90% of your lift from the floor, then that's, like, enough. Like, 90%, you don't need more. If you can't do 90%, then there's probably something wrong. Like, if you can't do 90% from any position, you're probably, especially in the snatch, maybe a little bit less in the cleans, like maybe 85. Like if you're snatching 100, you can't do like 90 kilo hang snatch. It's probably like you'd get benefit from working on it, but after that, then it's just like no point.
Milo said the chat.
That's funny. Talking of really talented.
Yeah, go on. This guy just said everyone should be able to snatch 15 to 20 kilos more in the blocks, which is just not true. First of all, if you're a 55 kilo male lifter, 20 kilos is like 20%. If you're a super, it's 10%. If you look at Soviet manuals, that's not true. I mean, there are some people who say that, and some people can lift that much more, but 50 to 20 kilos more is not something that everyone should be able to do in the snatch off blocks. That's just not true.
Yeah. You could do it probably if you spent months doing it, but like you would waste so much time not focusing on your lift from the floor. You just and your floor lift wouldn't go up, which is the one people care about. Like two great examples of lifters who are kind of biased. So like there's Gabriel and Klokov, both hate block and hang lifts, two phenomenal lifters, and they were like, Klokov said in that barbell shrug, he was like, no blocks,
Yeah.
But very
Ilya was very good at blocks.
Better, So like, but there is a place for hangs and there is a good place for blocks, But I'm lagging a bit here. I'm just going to catch him.
So we've got
so he's just walking up the bar from 73.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just grabbed it. Yeah.
Okay, hands on the bar. Feet.
Hands on arms. Feet on legs. Beautiful. Yeah, this guy is such a talent. This is also a really heavy opener for Meso. Like, we have one attempt remaining in the standard session from Reza Dadar, and then Meso's going to have to take 3 attempts.
Sorry, I lagged out there. Kind of.
Oh, don't worry.
Is he just walking off the stage now, or are you ahead of that?
I am. I don't know where I am. Okay, I'm just seeing Meso now with a towel wrapped around him.
2 seconds.
All right, we've briefly lost Owen. He's living in rural Ireland, and so it's probably doing something with the internet. So, guys, I imagine what's going to happen is Meso's going to come out and take an opener.
I feel like it's always when.
When what?
Okay, I'm back. When you need the internet to be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It just isn't. 95% of the time, then there's nothing wrong. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the live stream.
Cool. So you should have Meso with his dad. His dad is just slapping his thighs, getting the blood into his thighs. Nice singlet.
Meso?
He's looking
beefy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking pretty
like leaner.
Yeah, thicker and fuller, but lower body fat.
Because he was never fat,
No,
but he was never like lean looking.
No, but he said to me he wanted to go up to 109 for the next quad. Like seriously,
no
yeah. Which like he can hang in the clean and jerk. I'm sure if he went to 109, he could do 241 for a world record. But I just don't think he'll ever need. He won't ever snatch 200, which is what he'd need basically.
As a 109, I think he could.
You think he could?
Speed. I think he could. I think maybe not in competition, but I think he could in training. It remains to be seen,
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Always his first snatch. What the fuck?
He has such a way of missing snatches behind. Why does he always miss behind?
It's always his openers. He always misses his opening snatches. Yeah, I think he just gets too hyped.
Yeah, he overpulls. The amount that he loses behind rather than front is huge.
Yeah.
But the good thing is he remains positive. Kind of he always remains positive.
Oh, yeah.
He finishes, he jumps out, he's smiling. He's like, can't believe I missed that. I'm going to absolutely destroy it on the next one. And you can do that if you're a big cleaner jerker.
Yes, you can. Yes, that's very true. They put a lot of work these snatch, and it seems to have improved an awful lot, judging by his. What did he call that live stream? What was that called? He put some name on it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, he's looking beefy. He is looking.
He always looks like he can do like 185 if he had 10 attempts on a platform for it. But you're right, like they put in so much work. Like he used to be the guy who was like 163 and then 225. And so like he would medal maybe in the total, but now he's like a top snatcher. Not quite. I mean, there are quite a lot of people now in the 180s and he's actually not there internationally, but he kind of could be by the Olympics for sure. And then he's a top clean and jerker.
Like we could see a 185 in competition from the Olympics. I think that's a distinct.
Mm-hmm. Oh, apparently Tian hurt his elbow and knee, and that's why he lifted so light.
Oh, okay. Man, that should tell you two of the greatest 96s eventually walk the platform. That'll tell you how hard weightlifting is. That they can't,
and this new qualifying system
is terrible.
So tough.
Yeah, two Olympic champions can't make the Olympics. Then there's something majorly wrong. Now, a part of me is kind of like 2 seconds.
174. Hold it. Oh no, Meso. I've never seen him do that where I've seen him catch and miss behind, but where he catches and then rotates in is like trying to save it. I've not seen his shoulders do that before. Good. But remember, he did this in Qatar. Qatar Cup. He missed his 2 first attempts and he came out, smashed his third, and then personal record clean and jerk. It just looks so easy. It looks so light. Almost like maybe if he just narrow. No, yeah, that was always going back, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. It's actually probably a good idea that they did this because he does kind of have a sporadic snatch portion of competitions, and like it's been a long time since he competed, so it's better than leaving nearly 2 years until his next competition, which would have been the Olympics, so it's probably it's good to get this out of the way. He does remain positive, to be fair. Put the mask on, lads.
I know, so many exposed noses.
But
look at him, like he's in a good mood. He's just such a there's almost something about Meso where he'd almost rather have missed 2 attempts so that the pressure is enormous. Like, he thrives under
Yeah.
pressure. Just loves it. Loves it when everyone's watching. There's a big moment on the line. So I know obviously he wished that he'd made his first 2, but there's something about this situation now that makes him like the most likely to shine and to make the lift.
This is what happened in Qatar, wasn't it? That he missed 2 lifts and then came back.
And just beat Rastami. That was a great competition.
That was a very good competition. I'm so glad Rastami did well. You know, like I was just saying there, sorry, I'll say after this, we'll concentrate.
Yeah.
174, third attempt.
Third attempt to stay in and probably win if he makes this.
Yeah.
So consistent on his clean and jerks.
What the
There we go. It's so easy, Meso. Why do you do this to us? Bro.
Man. All the time.
Well, Reza Dadar's got 1 attempt remaining.
And Meso's really good at pulling under in the snatch, you know, because he's, you know, a lot of people focus on pulling like a longer snatch, but Meso is just really fast under, and it's improved a lot. You know, I really like to see it. Like his strength is in the turnover. You know, he's such a good person at pulling on a barbell. You know, so like the harder you pull on a barbell, the faster you can get under. And like that is, you know, those hand cleans he does. I don't think people realize how impressive those are. Those hand cleans. I know people do, but when you really think about it, like,
it's not like he's catching it and it's not like he's catching it, pausing and lowering it down. Like the reversal strength when the bar already has significant speed going down, and he reverses it back up out of position. Well, kind of out of position. It's mad.
Multiple reps to 200 kilos makes no sense.
Yeah, his upper back, his traps are very strong. So here's Reza Dadar coming up for his third attempt, final attempt of the session for the lead at 175. He looked great on his first 2 attempts.
He sure did. Oh, nice.
Wow. Beautiful lift.
That was, good job.
And when you see Reza Dadar in a t-shirt, you really think he's a coach who maybe hasn't even tried weightlifting. Like, it's amazing.
Yes.
And he's such
3 for 3 for an Iranian.
Yeah, I know.
See that. No offense to the Iranians.
No. Well, three for 3 performances there. That's great.
So I say, one hand, you know what, Rastami and Roddy can't make the Olympics, especially for Rastami. One hand, I'm like, tough titties. You knew what you had to do. You didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not defending Rastami, but as a system as a whole, like, it's better for the sport if the 2 previous Olympic champions got the Olympics, you know. And ultimately, what's better for the sport is the most important thing. So the fact that they couldn't qualify is bullshit. Like, there's something wrong with the system, you know.
Yeah,
but the system,
I have sympathy for Muradi because it is one of those systems where you've got basically 18 months, and in this situation, 24 months where you had to be in shape and not injured, which is really difficult to do. And he just couldn't do it. For Rastami, there's a certain amount of like, you knew the rules, you weren't injured, you just picked your openers badly, and because of that, you've been punished. And he blames everyone but himself for it. But I wonder if there should be something like, you know, they used to do this in CrossFit where you'd have to qualify, but if you were a previous games winner, you just automatically went. And like, obviously that wouldn't work in the sense that like that you have to be able to prove something. But if like a previous champion like Rastami could just prove like, look, I just hit a 400 kilo total, which is huge, like one time, then it's like, okay, you can come back because you're an Olympic champion, just to keep the sport popular. The system they came up with, I don't know if you know, but I was talking to one of the presidents of Weightlifting Ireland in 2018 before the new weight classes came in, you know, and they were deciding to do Olympic qualification or whatever. And it was like the week before the new weight classes were going to be announced, and he was like, "No, nothing's been decided. No one has any clue. No one can decide them." That's why it turned into such nonsense, like, because it was just. I heard that.
And there were certain people that were like pushing for specific weight classes for their lifters, so everyone had a vested interest, you know, and they were trying to make what they thought not for the best for the sport, but what would be the best for their individual lifter, people in positions of influence, you know, which is terrible, you know.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, you can when you look at it, it's like you can tell that's been voted on by a committee of lots of people throwing their opinions in the hat. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, why do you go from 55 to 59 to 64. It's like,
Yeah.
why are we taking a 4
Yeah.
kilo jump and then a 5? And then why
Yeah.
are we jumping from 81 to 96 to 109 at the Olympics? Or on the women's side, like
Yeah.
76 to 87. Like, that's such an enormous jump in body weight. It's just, and apparently they're going to change it again for the next Olympics. So like, whatever records are set in Tokyo, that's going to be it, and we're going to get a new set of categories again.
But like the records haven't even had a chance to like manifest themselves.
No.
Like people haven't even had a chance just to do what needs to be done. But yeah, like
it's kind of like with the categories in the 90s, where it was it 92 until 98 they had the change of weight classes, and so few people actually remember what those categories were and remember the records in them.
Mhm.
But at least that had like
Yeah.
5-6 years to, you know, properly kind of represent the peak of weightlifting at the time, whereas these ones haven't.
Yeah.
It gives a chance for people like Eoin and Lasher to set more world records and earn more money, because you know they're going to drop down again. But yeah.
On one hand, for the non-Olympic classes, I can see the benefit for people to get a chance to do some things that they wouldn't otherwise get a chance to do. But on a whole, it would just be better for sports if it was just the Olympic classes, like the way it's always been. You know, it makes it more competitive. It forces people to do what more than they would have otherwise. You know, like we wouldn't be seeing this realistically. We'd have seen Meso with Moradi and Tantau yesterday if we just had Olympic classes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm keen to see like I'm keen to see something, a heavier class, basically like a 115 or even a 120, because for so many, I mean, literally decades, people have been calling for a
120,
to basically split the super heavyweights. I think you're just going to see some absolute monster lifts, and I think in an age where there's Lasher, you won't see this happen. But at other periods of time, you might see that 120 class outlift, particularly outsnatch the super heavy class. Like there have been some of the top weightlifters ever in the super class has been like 120. You know, like Pizarenko, Kurlovich, Chigashev, Jabbar. Like it can happen.
Part of me thinks that might be just kind of an example of like people having access to more drugs, so you can be like a better body composition at 120. You know,
just be leaner. True, it might promote something that we don't want to see. Yeah.
I don't even know if the environment they could get back there at the 120s and that kind of connection, you know, with the current environment, which is probably a good sign for weightlifting. So maybe that's for the best. But then you could see just some units who are like, oh fuck, I'd like to be like 118, 119. You know, you could see people blossom. You'd never know until that happens. So the 120 class, like Chigachev, that was made for Chigachev.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment they have too many categories in the middle. Like going from 67 to 73, that's too close, to 81. And I know you have to look at population as like a normal distribution, and like the categories are going to get closer the more central you get, but that's too much. Like it could be, you could easily have like 60 as the first men's category. You could basically go 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, super. There's your 7 Olympic categories. And that's a better spread.
I like the idea of that. I like that. That's what I was kind of hoping for. It was like 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 110 plus. Like that would be, that would be perfect. Like let it like.
The only thing is they might be trying to like not have any categories that they've had before. Like we've had a 110 and we've had a 90. But like at some point, if we're going to keep redoing it, we're going to run out of numbers. So like you have to just reinstate old weight categories and just not include the old world records. Because you could, like, can you imagine if they just suddenly had a 110 class and they counted all of Zacharevich's world records, and it's like the world record snatch is now 210 and 250.5 clean and jerk.
But someone pointed out that like some of the standards set was reinforcing what people didn't want to see about weightlifting. The doping, you know, some of the standards were incredibly high. Like they were impossible for, like it is something I'd always love to know is like what's like the truly elite natural weightlifter. You know, is something I'd be very interested to see. Like you should see some of the Russians thought naturals could do. I don't know if they're being willfully ignorant or like there was ridiculous numbers. Like they were quoting crazy world records. Like they did a couple of them, and like they were very smart people. Some of them, like they made some predictions. They also made predictions what they thought world records would be or could be potentially. You know, there was like 300 kilo clean and jerks. You know, the maximum potential for stuff. Yeah, like it's not. I don't see that kind of thing
Well,
ever
I
happening.
mean, in a day where like Pizarenko has said in interview, like, "Oh, I clean and jerk 275 and I clean 280 in training," and you're like, "Well, you weighed like 125," so I could
Yeah,
100% see why people thought that someone like Kurlovich or
yeah.
who was a massive dude who attempted 272, uh,
Market.
Chamerkin, like you can imagine why when those guys turned up, they're like, "Oh, you might be the sort of people who push way over 600
Yeah.
pounds now."
Hmm.
The thing is, I think with the supers, like what we haven't seen is so long is a longer limbed super, and that's why Lash is kind of like because often the supers are
Yeah.
so compact because they have so much mass
Hmm.
on like these frame, like they have arms as long as mine or yours or whatever, but like because there's so much mass there,
Hmm.
they don't have the leverage. And then someone like Lasher comes who can actually pull these weights just effortlessly, and so
Well,
he's the
there's like
kind of
a
person who can do it.
yeah, like there's like a coefficient that increases as you go up in body weight as a super, where it's just detrimental to your lifting. Like you get to a
Yeah.
stage where your body weight needs to be counted into the lift you're doing. Like so, you're
Hmm.
like you every centimeter you get away from your center of mass, even though
Yeah.
you're getting heavier, then you have to include your own center of mass because obviously
Yeah.
your fat's not contracting, so you're lifting. Like Lash is just an anomaly. Like
But he still
everyone
looks
else is
like
pretty
you look
normal.
at Gore and you think, okay, that's enough. Like probably any extra weight isn't really going to help you. But with Lasher,
Yeah.
you could still think, well, he's like 176. He could probably get to 182, and that's probably about
Hmm.
right for him. But you're so right. Like I had a friend who
Hmm.
was just packing on so much weight, and it just got hard, like harder and harder to pull the bar because she already
Yeah.
had T-Rex arms, and then it's just like the bar is going to be further away from my center of mass now as I'm pulling,
Yeah.
and that just like if you ever try deadlift and you roll the bar away like Klokov does, and then you pull, it's just so difficult, and that's
Yeah.
essentially what you're
So
getting.
difficult. I think it's about every centimeter is probably worth about 10 kilos on the barbell away from your center of mass in terms of how it feels. So
Yeah.
like can you every centimeter or so. So like when someone like Ilya does that kind of like knock away to start, a lot of
Hmm.
lifters actually have that a bit, but like you're adding I think it's probably about 10 kilos probably
Yeah.
per centimeter, I would say,
But then that's not
to
reflected
the
in
weight.
squat, which is why you see like squats become more biomechanically advantageous because you could always keep the bar
Yeah.
over your
Yeah.
center of mass, but on the pull, it's just And that's where like when you and
You-
I were like getting into strength sports, I imagine you were at the same time as me, like
Yeah.
2010, 11, that kind of time.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing some powerlifting, and it's like no one deadlifted close to the squat, and now it's totally
No.
changed. And you've seen some
Yeah.
strongmen come in and hit ridiculous deadlifts that no raw squat has ever been, that close to. But it used to always be like the strong powerlifters were like they would squat like 900, maybe 1,000 pounds, and then they deadlift like 750, 800, and it was just so difficult for them
Yeah.
to pull off the floor.
Yeah, they really work like the West Side kind of like
Hmm.
ultra fat powerlifters. They were like the 320 deadlifts was like big, which is funny
Yeah,
because like when you put that in reference to my own numbers, I think most of our deadlifts is 280. Like, but I think
yeah,
there's been times I probably could have deadlifted 300 kilos.
yeah.
It's yeah, like it's weird. Like yeah, but you see a lot more athletic. Like
I think
Larry
probably
Wheels there just
sumo has
recently.
helped with that. Like I know it's ridiculous we're even talking about powerlifting on a weightlifting feed, but like I think the
Yeah,
sumo has helped the bigger lifters get their center of mass closer
yeah.
to the bar again. Okay, here's 200
Um,
kilo opener for the
it's
17-year old.
a very good clean and jerker from what we've seen. We could see a 215 from today, maybe depending on
Mm-hmm.
how he's looking.
The 109s is going
Um,
to be an incredible session as well. That's a beautiful lift.
who's on?
So easy.
Nice.
Well, it's Yangzhe, previous snatch
Hmm.
world record holder, obviously from China. And then the main thing
Hmm.
is it's Rozen Nuradinov versus Akbar Jurayev. So the two of the top three, I suppose, 109s in the world at the moment. Both of them capable of mid 90s in the snatch, mid 230s in the clean and jerk. It's like old school versus new school. You know, old Olympic
Akbar's
champion
progression
versus new. Yeah, his progression's
has
mad.
been astronomical. Like
Hmm.
it's just been completely linear for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
And like he was a non-runner in 2019. People are like, "Oh, that guy's kind of cool," but it was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
and now he's just blossomed in the lockdown.
And he's got crazy mobility as well. Like his ankle mobility,
Yeah,
Akbar Drive is insane. Like his knees are almost touching the floor in front of his toes when he lifts.
that's why he does that no foot clean because he doesn't need to move his feet out because he's
Hmm.
already in a nice position and he
Yeah,
just gets
yeah.
under so fast. What's okay? We got Kyrgyzstan lifter.
Yeah,
Great
like to do a
country,
lot.
very nice.
Oh, you've driven through it, right?
Yeah. Such
That's
a pretty
cool.
country, so nice.
Hmm.
People really nice as well. Mountains everywhere.
Yeah,
I think like 10% of their GDP is like from one gold mine.
really.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
very.
it's kind of
All
risky.
right, 205. Yeah, very
205.
risky. I don't,
Surprisingly tough stand.
all right,
I like that back leg. I know it's not conventional with the flat foot, but I like it when
the
people do
stanky back leg.
non-conventional things, but perfectly and consistently.
Yeah,
Like Ian Wilson, like I'll always like seeing his jerk, even though it's like you wouldn't teach it. I just love how it's the same every time and it works.
Ian is a great lifter, but he is not an aesthetic lifter to watch lift.
It depends
It's the
what you
nicest
want.
way
Like
to
if
put
you
it.
want to see someone who's just like so quick under and makes the most of what they have, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
But he's pretty strong as well. Like he's actually stronger than people realize just in his general like squat and deadlift abilities.
250 squat maybe, two front squat like maybe a bit more.
I
Is
think
it?
he did 55. Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah,
But
that is
then,
actually strong.
as he said to me as well the other day, is like, but then again, CJ does that. I was like, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah, things. Yeah, I think things don't scale like that sometimes. So
they don't scale. Like, if your femurs are 1.5 times the length of someone else's, like, there is more force that you're having to produce due to the longer moment arm to front squat that 250 than the person with the shorter femurs. So, like, yeah, it's the same weight,
yeah,
but you're producing more force, so it's going to transfer more to the snatch and scale. It's like, I think me and you've had this chat before. That's why Yang Zhe
yeah,
is out squatted by most of the lighter Chinese athletes, but he outlifts them
yeah,
because he does actually
yeah,
produce more force.
yeah, yeah. Oh, he's pulling so slow, like he has to be producing more force.
Mm-hmm.
206. He's a squat
206.
jerker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, power. Wow.
This there's a few guys doing that ultra wide,
Uh-huh.
mid like parallel squat jerk.
That's so Iranian, though, isn't it? Like, okay, we're going to do a power
Yeah,
jerk today. Oh, power. And then you just squat. You just go as
yeah,
wide as you can with the feet.
yeah. The Armenian dude, what's his name?
Hakon McCritchin.
Christian.
Yeah.
He's very similar to that. He catches a lower, I know, but still.
Yeah. His is amazing. Yeah,
I
Hakon
hope
McCritchin's one of the
something
few. He makes the jerk look easier. He makes his squat jerk look easier than his clean, which is so refreshing to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. He's clean as is all upper body.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 206 for rack hat.
You remember it because you put your hat on the rack hat, Beck Bullat.
Don't let the comments roast you, Seb. Don't do this to us. 206. I assume this is.
Have you been to Kazakhstan before?
Yeah.
I did Kazakhstan as well. Did you go to? You've been to Almaty?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
Very cool city. Very
Uh-huh.
cool city. Nice.
And
That was really easy.
what's the other main city? Oh, Astana.
That's yeah.
Astana's really
Astana
cold and like really like
was
removed from everything. But yeah, I went to Almaty. It was amazing. Just loved it.
Which is the one on the kind of bottom right? Is that Almaty or Astana?
That's Almaty. Yeah.
Almaty, yeah.
That's where I was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
It's like
cool.
not too far from China.
No, we wanted to go through China, but the visa is like
Yeah,
like €5,000 at the time or something.
Wow.
So we were just like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Probably better that we didn't actually with all the Uyghur stuff.
Yeah,
I'd say that was probably going on then. Astana isn't called Astana anymore. It's called.
It's the name of their new president.
President. They told us in Kazakhstan that that's because they know he's like he'll have to leave soon, so he's just trying to name everything. He's naming like universities, airports after him. Just like they moved the capital north as well.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine if they just tried to pull something like that in, I don't know, like in Ireland or in the UK? Like if they're like, okay, you know, like we need to move the capital from London to Liverpool, and it's also now going to be called like Elizabeth or something like that. You can't do that just because you're getting old.
Yeah, that's. It's like Boris Johnson moving the capital to Liverpool and calling it Boris Johnsonville or something.
Boris Johnsonville.
Like Turkmenistan was like one of the worst countries I've ever been in for that kind of like just it's so close to being North Korea.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's just
I've
crazy.
heard
Like
that about Turkmenistan for people who've been there for weightlifting. It's just like, they basically built
yeah.
this fake city where
Hmm.
you could it almost felt like everybody who was in the city had been employed to be there to just populate it for this competition
Yeah,
to make it look
that's what it looks
like
like.
it was a thriving
Yeah.
city. But if you look at them, they're not doing anything. And if you walk too far to the edge of the city, they sort of like follow you and like, where are you going? There's nothing. It's like the Truman Show almost.
The secret that the police were like following us around in unmarked cars all the
Hmm.
time, and then we went to this enormous hotel. It was like the hotel could have probably kept like 1,000 people in it, and there was
Hmm.
nobody there. And we were like, "Can we
Yeah.
get a room?" And they were like, "No, we're full. You have to go to a different hotel." So weird.
All right,
They put
here's
like a GPS
210.
tracker,
Really?
yeah, in the car. Nice, solid
Wonderful.
opener. Could have a 220 in him, maybe,
Yeah, yeah, that
depending
looks
on
pretty
how
nice.
consistent. The clean is better than his jerk.
210 for Rasul Motamedi. So 2 lifters still to come out. Artyom Antropov, the absolute savage clean and jerker who basically powers all his cleans. And then Meso Hisona, who's going to look for a world record.
His turnover, Antropov, is
Yeah,
crazy because he's out of the rings, but
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
power, he's still pulling in that bar in the turnover. It's
Hmm.
like very impressive. Um, Someone's asking, are you going to cover the tree lift Olympic weightlifting competition starting strength is holding?
The
They're
what?
doing like a press. They're doing like a clean and press / clean and jerk competition.
But starting strength? Huh.
Yeah, he's made a comeback on YouTube. I don't know if you've noticed.
No.
He's like he's such a meme. People just love the meme. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
the
yeah.
comments he gets roasted. His own commenters just roast him all the time. They keep calling him pink and fat. It's
That's a great
nice
lift.
lift. That is a great lift.
So is it Mark Ripito who's doing the videos?
Yeah, yeah, he's like a big team doing podcasts and stuff. Gets a lot of views too and stuff. Like
Yeah, I bet.
he gets a lot on it.
Yeah.
You know, in fairness, like Mark says a lot of stupid shit, but his book is decent. Starting strength, like there's a lot of work went into that. You know, I've read it before. It's like
Yeah.
it's good work. Like you
I've
know,
read
but he says a lot of
yeah, I
things.
read Starting Strength and then Practical Programming, his first like 2 major books. And obviously Glenn wrote like
Yeah.
the section on programming basically in that book.
Oh,
And
did
then
he?
yeah, so Glenn wrote it and it was credited in the initial versions of it because he used to work with Mark
Okay.
Ripito. Then they had a big falling out and Mark re-editioned the books and removed Glenn's name and just rewrote his entire section but personally. And Glenn
Oh,
always used to say to me how he was like missing out. I mean, if this isn't true, please don't sue me. But
yeah,
Glenn always said how he lost out on like tens of thousands of dollars from royalties from that
yeah.
book because Mark has sold like, I think he sold like in the hundreds of thousands of copies of Starting Strength at this point.
I just don't get how starting strength is so popular. It's just so strange. Like it's just become a meme at this point that
It's so
everyone would
it's
be like,
so
"Oh, just read."
well, it's just so base. I think like back in the day, it was very difficult to actually gain any education in sports science unless you went to university to study.
Oh my god,
And like that book was
T
like
Nation was
the way in. Yeah, it was T Nation and bodybuilding.com. And so that book was like, wow, I
yeah,
actually just found out about what periodization is. And I now
yeah,
know what starting strength means and I know what isometric is and concentric. And it's like it just became a
yeah.
big thing for that reason.
Yeah, there was nothing. Jeez, there was nothing 10 years ago. Oh my
No,
god.
no.
Oh my god. Thank you
Any
very much.
video that
T
came
Nation
out and I was watching it on YouTube, like there was nothing. And then I went to uni to study sports science, and it wasn't much better, to be honest. I was still, it's still like
no.
didn't teach you the stuff
A
they
lot of
needed.
universities are not. Even currently, they're not it.
No.
Um.
Okay, third attempt
Yeah,
for
there
the
was. Yeah,
17-year-old. Do you see Ilya's in the back
this is
as
a
well?
compy for him. I saw. I saw. How is he even back there? You know?
He's just royalty now. He's allowed in. There we go. 213. Easy clean. Very strong jerk.
Tip.
6 or 6.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Great competition. Yeah, big future with this boy.
Yeah, 100%.
6 or 6. That's like a PB clean and jerk. I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? You know that royalty thing. You know, remember Clockoff used those in like 2015, 2017 training halls, 2014. I saw like kind of at the time I was like, that's really cool. But I saw a video this morning randomly in my like Explore feed of Clockoff doing that 200 in Almaty, and a little bit of me is like, oh, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
it is a little bit.
it's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we all know what's going on. It's just it's a little bit weird looking at
It's
it
a bit
now,
of a
to be
power
honest.
play where like the winning snatch in the 105s there was, I think, was like 193 or 194, and then he's in the back room. Like we all know what he's done, and he hangs or like pause hangs 200. It's just like you just made the world
in the
champion
training
look
hall.
so bad. Yeah.
In the training hall as well. Like it's just, it feels a little bit seedy, and it's not that I don't think it's a great lift. Like if he'd have done that across the gym at the same time.
Nice clean. Here we go. Starfish power jerk coming up for Residadar. Wow.
Yeah. That's Jesus Christ.
The problem is when you go that wide, there is a limit to the depth that you can go.
Yeah.
I mean, like at some point the hips are gonna not be able to do it, and the knees are gonna come in, and you'll drop it. But I mean, he had room there for the 214, so great lift.
Have you been watching Ilya? He seems to be in moderate shape at the moment.
Yeah. 140 power clean push press, I think.
Yeah.
220 front squat. Yeah.
And there's a lifter that I just want to see just so full. Do that full clock off. That's what I want to see. Yeah, I want to see that so bad. I just want to see, because like he's another like 5-6 years of that if he wants. If he like in training age for him if he wanted to do
that. Okay, so Artyom Andropov is finally coming out. He went 3 for 3 in the snatch, 168, and he's got the second heaviest open now in the clean and jerk at 215. I think we have. Yep, 215. Meso still not out, and Motamedi from Iran still with 2 attempts remaining.
I've got a good feeling about Meso's clean and jerk. I feel like he's gonna nail something big.
He's just so consistent.
215 for us. Yeah, he's a very consistent jerker, and he pushes his limits too. To be fair,
yeah, he does. Yeah.
All right, 215 for Andropov. This is going to be pretty easy for it to judge by his training videos.
And the speed with which Andropov stands up these cleans, that's unbelievable. Hell. This guy is freakishly strong. I would love I want to see some training videos from him.
250 kilo for 3 in the front squat, and it was
that's what he did.
Easy. Did you see that? Yeah, I'll see if I can find it there.
Yeah, please do. That's like I mean, his legs are like just pistons. It's like an elevator. Just there was no. You know what? There's no sticking point because his bottom position in the clean is where most people get stuck halfway up because he catches it so high.
Like,
how much do you reckon he could box squat? Because that's his squat.
He looks like he could front squat 275. I'm not seeing.
I bet you can. Yeah,
it's on one of those stupid fucking weightlifting 555 777 fucking. You know those ones.
Yeah,
those random ones.
The number of people who've taken the Weightlifting House logo and created new pages and they just post our stuff again. It's like, I'd really appreciate if they do this. Like, it costs a lot of money to get these videos, but
they don't make any money off them. So like, why?
No, I know. I think essentially what they do is they build up a few thousand followers and start a drop shipping clothing website, and then realize that they're not going to sell anything, and then they close it down eventually. All right, third attempt for Beck Dulot. That's tough. Well, he'll end up 165, 212. So 377 total. Which means that we're up at 19/220 at this point. With 8 attempts remaining. That's really competitive for this session.
I'm really interested to see what kind of shape Meso pulls out for clean jerks.
Yeah. Hopefully something decent. Maybe, he always said he wanted to do 190, 240 in Tokyo, which, it's not going to happen. But now that he's a heavier athlete, maybe we'll see him even try something like a 235. Or maybe if he can win on his opener, I think maybe he'll jump to 232 to set a world record. And then you never know, he might jump big after that if he makes it. Or he'll pass in his third.
he's really, really, really efficient with his max cleans. But then beyond that, then obviously for a good reason, like they're heavy weights that he gets a bit ropey with them.
Yeah,
which is understandable because they're heavyweights. So it's
yeah.
not like
Mm-hmm.
like we'll give him a break on that one.
Yeah. Okay, 219 for Resididar, the splat starfish jerker. I love his jerk. It's awesome.
219.
Third attempt. Oh, that's an elbow touch.
No, don't shake your head.
He
No.
probably got a. Anyone listening on the chat who's got the audio on the stream, did they give him a buzzer when the elbow touched? Is that why he shook his head? I imagine that's what happened. Unless he just did the elbow touch and he was like, no. But that's a really bad move if that's what he did.
Did it touch?
Oh, yeah, apparently that's what happened. That's what I'm saying. Guys, the live stream is on. Just go on the IWF Facebook. Just put a link in the chat for you guys. So if for the Olympics you and Zach come out to Weightlifting House, will you just commentate and train and post loads of training vlogs?
Yeah, I'll have to work to do and stuff, obviously. But
nah, yeah, don't need to. Dare can keep things going. No, that's fine. We'll have loads of like desks, loads of desks set up and everything.
I do.
Okay, here's the other Iranian. Yeah, I hope so. Rasul Motamedi, second attempt, he took 210 on his opener. Big 10-kilo jump.
220. Yeah, 210 was good though. His clean was easy, so I wonder. Like the Iranians do have no fear with weights like this. Like you got to give it to them. They do have like tenacity when it gets to get into weights.
This is one of the, like this is like a weight cutoff where you start hitting the really good 102s and then 230 is like the elite.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. Wow.
Nice.
God, he just lunges under.
That's legit.
It's like his front foot barely moved in that split jerk, just a back foot.
Legit.
Yeah, very strong clean.
I feel like he's going to take a big jump again for his third.
Let's see. How old is this guy? He is 22. Gosh. His competition record was 202 back in 2018, so that's 18 kilos up. Okay, here's Meso coming out.
The big boy.
He should make this look very easy. He hit this in the training hall the other day. Looks like a piece of cake.
Can somebody in the comments of YouTube, that Olympic _IWF Instagram page? Can anyone find that on Instagram? I don't know if it's gone. I can't find it.
You look for Antropov's 250 triple, so?
Yeah, it's on that page because he's deleted off his own Instagram. If anyone can find it, it's like the Olympic _IWF. He posted a lot of lifts, but it's got a lot of the Kazakhstan lifts. I just can't find it.
Yeah. Okay, here's Meso, 222 kilo opener. He's changed his singlet. He's changed his shoes. He's got the Liu Xiaojun Antas, I think.
Oh, yeah, 222. He's looking thick. Oh!
Just for the lead. Very strong clean.
Let's see it. Nice.
No problem there.
That's what an upper should be for clean
jerk. The height that he got on that jerk, like he didn't split low at all. That just the height off the shoulders is remarkable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's something that even, Tian doesn't get anywhere near that kind of height off the shoulders.
No, Meso's clean and jerk truly is something else. It's not the most athletic clean and jerk. It's just really, really fucking strong. Like Gabriel's or Ilia's is really kind of athletic, but Meso's is like just good technique and really strong. Like and it's not an insult; it's just a different way of cleaning. No, it's not the IWF.net one. It's one of those knockoff.
It's a fake one.
It's a thing of beauty, like that 250 by 3.
Okay, 222 for Artyom Antropov. This is his second attempt. Dude, this is
He's going to
huge
nail
for a
this.
second attempt. 215 to 222.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
That might have been an easier clean than Meso's. Oh
Holy
my
shit.
word.
Get in, son. Holy shit.
You just got to wonder what's happening with the Kazakh team, because
Yeah.
obviously like they all like the seniors got popped, and then for like 2 years Kazakhstan was awful, and now there are these new 17, 18, 19-year-olds turning up who are like on another level again.
West. Yeah, like what? Like, what's happening? You know, like how is this happening again? You know, not that I'm mad at it. Like it's gonna. I always say, you know, I like this. Like seeing. I like weightlifting. You know, but on another level, you're like, how is this? Like,
how are they getting away with this?
They're actually better lifters than the previous ones, bar Elia, to be fair. Like they look like they've more in them.
Yeah, I mean Rahimov was obviously insane.
That lift was an anomaly, to be fair. Like in competition.
Yeah, it was. Although, I mean, he did 207 at the 2015 Worlds, didn't he? I think. I think he did 207, and then he took an attempt at 211. And he won, because Lou bombed. I think Rahimov hit 207. I'm going to pull that up. 2015 weightlifting World Championships. Let's just check that. I think Rahimov he did 2 big lifts that session. 207. Yeah.
Fuck.
He hit 207 and then he took a jump to 211. Yeah.
No one saw him for a winner at the Olympics, so 2016. Like no one had him chalked in.
Well, just because he didn't snatch well, he snatched like 65, and Lou hit the 77. So it was like, okay, well, that's there's no way he can win.
There's no way,
now.
like. Yeah.
Okay, here's 227. This is another enormous attempt for Rasul Mohammedi from Iran. This guy is the future of Iranian heavyweight lifting. This is enormous.
All right, 225. 27. Fuck.
Yeah.
Once you get up, easy like.
Tiny pull, but he gets up. Yeah, he's got a scrappy jerk. He just pushes under.
Yes.
Oh my word!
Shit.
Wow. What a phenomenal lift. Sometimes the young athletes, they just they have no limit on what they think they can do.
Yeah. They're just whatever.
Oh, and he'd love to see his teammate happy as well. Reza Dadar congratulating him.
Yeah, that is nice to see. Crazy like this. This is.
So that means he's up in first at 400 kilos. Well, wait. Meso needs. He needs to hit. Meso needs to hit this.
Nobody saw this coming. To be fair, I didn't think I thought Meso would walk this. To be honest,
if Meso hits this, he goes up into the lead, and then Antropov would need 234, which he's not going to take because that's silly. He's going to come out now and just. What can he do? I don't think there's anything he can do to get into, unless we're going to flick back to the platform and it's suddenly up in the 230s. I think he's probably just going to solidify his slot in third. I don't know. I don't think he can catch up. He's 6 kilos behind Meso and he's 10 kilos behind Mohammedi. He's going 229. That's going to add 7 kilos. Oh, this is going to move him up above Meso. But then, of course, Meso's got another
This is insane. No. Oh, shit. Your man's he's not lifting this.
Oh, what's going on? I got the wrong person.
What the fuck are they doing? Like?
Oh, he's got to be disappointed about that because if he'd have got that lift, that would have put the pressure on Meso. He was ready for that. Okay, guys, Meso Sona's coming out 229 kilos. We are currently 2 kilos below the world standard. There is not yet a world record in place. You have to beat the world standard to set a world record. No one in this weight category has done it yet. But I think we're going to see it today. 229. This is a competition record, right? Yeah, this is a kilo. Yeah, this is a kilo because his best is 228 from Qatar.
Yeah,
he's done more training.
230 in 2019. but no jar.
So
All right,
this
Meso,
is
second attempt.
not as simple as
Big
people
attempt.
think. This is for the lead. If he doesn't make this, very
Oh,
strong.
yes.
Come on, boy.
Oh, slipping.
Oh, he
Oh, he
slipped.
slipped.
He slipped. Back foot slipped. Meso.
Oh, bad
Can
news
you
for
imagine if
Anta.
Meso Hosono loses to a 22-year-old Iranian who we didn't really
Oh,
know?
imagine if he got injured. Oh, that slip is not cool. I wonder what happened there. That's so
Even the
weird.
clean
Is
was.
the shoe
I
to the
mean,
platform?
it was a great pull and a great stand, but like the turnover, like he didn't have much time getting his elbows through on that clean. I think it might have
I
been the
think he's gonna nail
platform.
this.
What, Beck Dulot?
Yeah, I think he's gonna.
If Beck Dulot
No,
hits this,
Antropov.
sorry, Antropov. If
No, I
Antropov
think
hits this and
Antropov.
Meso doesn't make his one, Meso comes third. Guys, 2 attempts remain. Motamedi is in the lead at 400 kilos. Meso's at 396. Antropov is now taking 229 to overtake Meso.
Get up.
Get up with it. Okay, it's a tough clean. He's shaking a lot, but Antropov is up with it. Surely not. Surely. Oh.
No.
Not today. Okay, so we now know that Antropov is going to take bronze. It all comes down to the final lift. The pressure is on for Meso Hosono. He loves it. If he makes this, he's Asian champion. If he misses it, he's a silver medalist.
Why is Meso in the 102s? It's just because he just didn't need to cut down basically or go for a hard comp at 96. Like he's still going to be 96.
Yeah, he'll be a 96 in Tokyo.
There's some big gains from Antropov in terms of even competition attempts. Like I don't think he's clean jerk 229 in training, but it looks at things.
Do you think that this performance from Meso is going to encourage the Chinese to send Tian? Because I wonder if Tian Tao in shape will have a better chance of beating this type of Meso. This type of Meso is not a worry to Tian when Tian's in shape. Like Tian has totaled 14 kilos more than what Meso's on now. And that's probably easier than Li Fei Bin beating Eko Yuli Eoin in the 61s. Because they've got to pick between those two.
I would say yes, if Tian Tao had been in crazy good shape yesterday. If he just walked it yesterday, then they'd be like, yeah, let's send Tian Tao. But Tian is not like, he doesn't have the momentum build up, and the Chinese team look overworked in general.
They do. They all looked.
Less than 100.
Yeah.
Less than 100 days to the Olympics. I don't see him getting. I don't see him ramping up again.
But he looked strong.
How much pressure?
Do you know what I mean? He looked strong. He just looked hesitant on he attempted a 180 snatch.
Oh, he's trying to do for Meso.
Okay, Meso's going for a world record, guys. He said, "Screw the 229. I don't just want the win.
Yeah,
I came here for the world record.
Let's go.
This is first ever world record.
Clean it all day.
I'm going to say he makes it.
I think he's going to clean it out.
I think he's going to make it.
Oh, the back, mate.
Go on, boy. He's up with it.
Come on.
Triple bounce on the clean.
Oh,
he slipped again.
Take those stupid shoes off.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Meso Hosono.
What is going on with those shoes?
Missed to it. That's not a good ad for the new Lujaja and Anta.
Are they a new version of Anta, or are they just a different colorway thing?
I think they're probably just another colorway.
What the fuck?
I've never seen Meso slip out with a back foot in the jerk.
Never, ever. That looks... that's very clearly a slip as well. I'm not being... Yeah, big clean to be fair.
Rocks on his heels.
He said his knee was very sore.
Yeah.
Like he said his knee was really sore 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right.
He wasn't even sure. That back foot, let's see the back foot again.
Yeah, they need to show us a foot. Here we go.
What? Oh, it's a shitload of chalk on the platform.
Is it? Yeah, it looks chalky.
Oh.
Wow.
What the fuck?
So, Seda Motamedi, 22 years of age from Iran, takes the gold medal with 400 kilos in the total.
Meso
Hosono takes the silver with 396. And in third place from Kazakhstan, Artyom Antropov. I mean, that was a fantastic session through and through. I mean, Rakat Bekbalat, the 17-year-old Kazakh, amazing. 6 for 6, 173, 213. He had more in him as well. He's just, They're not. They just want him to
It's
go 6 to
it's too
6.
it's too late cleaning the platform now. Oh, that was fucking
Disappointing.
that yeah, that
As a
was
session for Meso, yeah.
it's probably best that he got that out of him. I'm kind of chuffed for Azul though. I like to see that. I like to see a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
younger lifter just like everyone loves not the underdog, but the kind of unknown. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
There's Ilya. Holy shit,
Yeah.
that hair is looking thin.
Yeah, thinning
My
out on
God.
top a lot, yeah.
Maybe he's back on. Hopefully he's back on. I'd love to see it. Fuck it. Like it doesn't matter for me, but I'm very happy for Azul. That's like legit.
So
Legit
for people
attempts.
wondering, Meso will still qualify for the Olympics. It doesn't matter. He still had enough qualifying points. He actually only needed to turn up and weigh in and just get a drug test. So the fact that he lifted was just a bonus for all of us. So we will still see him in the 96 category.
They're saying he should have squat dropped to avoid the sabotage by shoes.
So this 96 kilo category at the Olympics, we'll see Meso. We're not going to see Sarab. We might not see Tian, but we are going to see.
What is that saying? He's in first.
No, it's not. It's not in order. Those totals are just out of place. Yeah. That I think. Okay. I don't know what that is, but
yeah.
So, but we are going to see we're going to see Pliesnoy. We're going to see Bodie. There's a very good chance we won't see Jonathan Rivas because Colombia is potentially out, along with Romania, who are potentially out.
Meso, like I don't think Tantau's going. He's not a guaranteed gold medal. I don't think. You don't know if they will. They might send them just for reasons that we don't know about. But it's like if you were just looking objectively.
But Lee Fei-Bin isn't guaranteed gold medal either. Like the total that Lee Fei-Bin just put up would have gotten beaten by Echo if Echo was there. You know,
why wasn't Echo there? He just didn't need to go.
He didn't need to go. Yeah. So
I think Lee Fei-Bin has put up a better total before, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got the world record total, but so's Tian Tao. No, he doesn't. Sarab's got it, but he's got a better total by 6 kilos than Meso has.
Yeah, I still think Lee Fei-Bin would have a better chance than Tian Tao, judging by Tian Tao's shape at the moment.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
it's
what we really should be seeing is Meso versus Moradi versus Tian Tao versus Anton Pliesnoy versus Iohanni Tshechenki or whatever it is. That's what. That's what we need to be like. That's what we want to see. At the moment, it's look. I suppose from Bodie's point of view,
it's great. Yeah,
this looks good for him. Yeah, there's a great chance of the medal for him if he has a good day. Because I can't think of anyone else who would be coming out at 96s.
I still pick Pliesnoy for silver.
Yeah, I think if Iohanni does go and if he's able to come in shape,
then I pick him for silver.
obvious reasons. Yeah, silver. Although you never know he could snatch better than Meso too. Like, so it's hard to if Iohanni's there, that gold medal might be guaranteed. You know, if he's in good shape.
Can you imagine if Iohanni Tshekantsu turns up? Because for people listening, Iohanni Tshekantsu from Belarus, he is apparently going to compete next month. I guess is he a junior still? Would he compete at the IWF junior world champs? It might be there that he's competing.
Maybe.
I think that's the only one he can do. I just got sent, I'll show you now, a 290 back squat double.
Oh, yeah.
Let me find this for you. Because he could turn up and actually win. Like, and no one's been talking about it.
Does this give you bad vibes from previous Olympics, though? Does it give you those kind of vibes, like old school weightlifting vibes? You know,
people just don't turn up for a long time. Yeah. Here we go. This is 290. Oh, this is actually 2 years old.
What have you got? 290.
Yeah, 290 double for Iohanni Tshekantsu.
What's his Instagram name there? I can't see the after this.
It is Frost. If this is him. No, this isn't him. This must be his coach. Yeah, I'll send you that lift.
Do we have his Instagram?
First. Yeah, we do. I'll find Tshekantsu. Sick.
So, like, Meso can be inconsistent in comps, especially on his snatch. And it has bar 2019 where obviously he had a very good one, and like he obviously didn't peak very hard for this, to be fair.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the best to judge, but the he's not guaranteed gold unless he does go for 6 for 6.
So this is Yohenni's page. Tihonkov _ TIHONCOV _. That's Yohenni Takantsu's Instagram page, but he doesn't really ever post. His most recent picture is from 2018, and he looks enormous. But there are videos there of him snatching like 180, literally 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago. And then he turned up and did two kind of major competitions. He did, I think, 180, 220 at 96, then disappeared from the 96s, came back and won the 102s at Worlds, and sort of disappeared again. So like he legitimately could just turn up and do like 190, 230, and I wouldn't even be surprised.
Because they're not going to send Edward Zizulini or Zizuan.
Edward Zizulini, yeah, from the Supers, yeah.
He's no chance at gold, no chance.
No.
Great lifter, obviously.
And probably not even going to, like, I'd be surprised if he even medaled.
Like a Ramno.
He's apparently too heavy right now. He's like 219.
Ramno is his own worst enemy. He always has been. Like, he could have been one of the greatest lifters ever if he'd kept going.
Yeah. I mean, he's in the Greatest Weightlifters book.
As he should be.
Top Sinclair, yeah.
Physical talent, like competition, like he can pull it out of the bag, you know. Yeah, I don't think they'll send around though. Maybe they might. Depends what Yohenni does. So you're saying he's competing next month?
Yes.
The rumor has
it. He's going to turn up and sneak in a competition. So all 96s who are trying to qualify need to be aware of this guy.
Yeah.
I wonder who's in the European spot for the 96s. Let's have a look. It will be on Weightlifting House. We've got the list.
I assume Plesnoy is the 96.
Well, Plesnoy's in the top 8 though. So then there's the Olympic slot outside of that. I'm just going to pick it and see. 96 men. So right now, top 8 is Tiantau, Meso, Rivas, Plesnoy, Bodie, Hakel Makrichian, Yu Dongzhu, Ali Mendez.
Ali Mendez is 96.
Yeah.
What's happened? He got injured.
I don't know what. Yeah, because he's obviously in 81. He just competed at 81 in Pan Ams. I wonder if he knows that he's qualifying at 96 and he's literally currently looking like he's going to go to Tokyo.
What was he sold at Pan Ams,
Not good. It was like 145 snatch. And like 3 years ago, he did 175 at Worlds.
And like he was clean. He was attempting world records. Like
221 he went for. So right now in the European spot, it is Yohenni Sakantsu. So if Yohenni Sakantsu competes now, gets more points, he's going to move into the top 8, and he's going to bump Ali Mendez out and into the Pan Am spot, which is going to bump Kedemar out of the Pan Am spot. Oof. So someone else is going to move into the European slot. Interesting.
Yeah. It's weird. It's Yohenni's kind of flown under the radar, really. I remember the Europeans here, like he's an absolute unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The 96s could be the best class at the Olympics in terms of competitiveness. And then, the rest will be like Lasha will probably put out a big performance. It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Previous Olympics have shone some light, with retesting and stuff. So we don't know what people are going to come in like. Here's our boy Meso getting his silver. Always with the silver Meso.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm incredibly biased. I want Meso or Meso to win.
Yeah.
At the Olympics.
It's tough when you literally become friends with certain athletes. It's hard to try to remain unbiased, but I think it's fine to show that as long as you acknowledge it, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like I do all the time.
Yeah, I want him to win. Like because there's so many people relying on him too. You know, like he's like there's a lot of people he's supporting by his weightlifting
Yeah,
career.
yeah. Also, do you know Forrester is in the continental slot for the 96s? So he's in an Olympic slot right now.
Is he?
Yeah, yeah.
What are Forrest? Do you know what Forrester's best lifts are?
Like 50, 85 maybe.
Wait, I thought Forrester competes for Ghana. Does he not? Was he not
Yeah, yeah.
competing
So
for them
yeah,
with this
for
dream?
Ghana, yeah. So he's in the African continental slot
Oh, sorry,
right
I
now.
thought you said the European continent.
Oh no,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no.
Oh,
Africa.
yes, yes. So Forrester, but is he still living in the UK at the moment?
He's currently at the training hall in Meso's house.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
something actually. Yeah,
No, he's training because
yeah.
Meso's bought a set of weightlifting house bars and plates that have arrived,
Mm.
and because Meso and the whole
Yeah,
team aren't there, like the delivery people
yeah,
keep calling us up, like we're trying to deliver it. Then I found out Forrester
yeah,
was there,
yeah,
so I called him. I was like, dude, you have to take delivery
yeah,
of this stuff because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's gonna come back to the UK otherwise.
Yeah. Fuck, Forrester deserves that. Like, was he? What was he doing in the UK? Was he living or training, or was he like? Do you kind of pay him? Does
Yeah,
he
no,
get like a stipend or anything? Or?
Forrester just he does live and work in the UK. Like he works at a gym in London, personal training,
Yeah,
um, but then just competes for Ghana.
legit.
So yeah, guys, we will be doing the 109s. I will be on with Sergey Putsov. Obviously, Owen, if you want to join, do. But I think you're busy for the 109s, right?
Yeah, I will
Yeah, yeah.
make it. Yeah, unfortunately.
And then I'll be
Be a good
back
weight.
with Dan for the 87s after that. Yeah, 109s is going to be like an extra. I think 109s will be maybe the best session. Like we could easily
Akbar
see a
could.
repeat of like like all of those world records that we saw in the snatch at Worlds 2019. Like we have three
I
athletes
think
who are all like mid 190s and a couple in the 230s.
because like Roslin has a lot to play for. Like he's got to prove it that he's better than Akbar. And Akbar obviously is an up and coming. He's got like momentum behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a younger lifter. You know, you can see some huge clean and jerks. I'd say. And who's
Yeah.
the third? Is there another? Is no other big clean and jerkers that are the two of them? Is there?
No, I mean
Is
Yang
anybody
Z is
else?
like Yang Zhe is like a mid 220s.
Yeah,
Let
but
me see. I'll pull it up just in case. Asian Champ Start Book download.
so like, someone had a really good point there. Everyone's just snatching 175 for the last three weight classes, basically.
Damn.
No one's made it out of the 180s. That's very
Wow.
true. Actually,
Lead I did
that's a very good point.
75. Did anyone snatch 75 in the 89s? No. No, I think the winning snatch was
No,
like 68. The stream's ended. And then 96 is yesterday. 75 was the winning snatch. Yeah, wow. So in the 109s, we've also got Jinin Song from Korea. He's like a 80, 220. Drive Akbar, Razan Uradinov, Yang Zhe, Hiroaki Shiraishi from Japan, Seo Hui-op, he's got a big clean. Oh, Kia Gadami. You know Kia Gadami, the Iranian? He did like 242 in training. Let me show you.
That name sounds so familiar.
Kia Gadami he's like pretty short, but also quite yoked.
That name is so familiar.
I'll get a video of him. He's one of those athletes who's got multiple. Here's a 230 at least.
Oh yes. Oh, this is like his first international in a while, is it? Because he was one of those Iranians who were just competing all the time. Yes, I know him. No fear in the weights.
He was hitting like 240 plus pretty regularly and snatching like 190.
Okay. So we're gonna see probably like 180, 220 or something maybe.
Yeah. So that would be nice.
It's such a tough sport to be good at weightlifting on the competition floor, like to stay at it for such a long time. Like it's
to remain injury free. It's so difficult.
Yeah, and then keep high performance, even with national support, even with full stipend, even when everything comes to that, like just full time training and like to still like maintain performance just not get injured.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking you gotta appreciate all
Yeah.
that work, you know. And like
I
like you get
basically
to see
got
it.
like 5 to 6 years, I'd say, of decent injury-free training, and like the
Mhm.
progress is so good, and then
Yeah,
suddenly injuries crop up, and it's like, can you even just
yeah.
get back to where you were? And it sucks, like
You just gotta be like, yeah. You just have to get over the injuries and be like, okay, it's time to go again. Like you just gotta
it's
keep
time.
going and going.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you just have to keep like you just gotta put the work in. Like you just literally people. I always get this question. It annoys me so much. People are like, I've snatched 80 kilos and I'm 17. Like, do you think I'd be good? And they were like, I'll tell you if you train for 10 years, and then I'll tell you the
yeah. I have
answer. Like,
no
come back to me
idea.
in a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible to say.
What were your lifts the
I said,
first day you ever did weightlifting? And then we'll wrap up. I just want
uh,
to know. Do you remember? Because like I
I think
remember
I did like
distinctly cleaning
75.
80. You snatched
Yeah,
75?
Six, no 65. I think 65 the
65.
first time I ever snatched,
Yeah,
and I think I cleaned like 80 or maybe 75. My first
yeah.
competition after a month, I did like 70 and like I pressed out 90,
Uh
and
huh.
then after like 10 months, I did like 100, 120, I think.
Nice.
Um,
That's faster than
and
like
then
my first comp was about a year in, and that was my first 200. Did
yeah,
91, 109, and then
yeah,
it took me about 2 years to get to 100, 120. I got to 100 before I got to 120. Like I could snatch 100,
yeah,
but 120 clean, I could just had no chance with it.
yeah,
And then my 120 to 140 was like 6 months. It's like something
yeah.
happened that just, or like maybe not six. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
Mine was
you
the same,
finally get through it and then it
literally.
flies through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine was. I did. It was like what I went from 125 to 126 in a year, and then
Mm-hmm.
in the space of like 4 months, I went from 125 to 140 in space of like 3 or 4 months. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like that. The first year of weightlifting is so crucial. Like if you're not making fast progress in the first year, 18 months, then like you're never lifting something big, and like
I think that's
it's
true
just what
because
I've seen from everyone.
I think it's like a mental thing as well. We spoke about this as well.
Yeah,
Like when you're just lifting with other people who like recognize that these numbers are really bad, all you
yeah,
do is progress. It's
yeah.
like get better, get better, get. And like the idea of being stuck at a
Yeah.
weight is so unacceptable when you're with other
No,
people who are like shitting on you.
yeah.
That like you just have to
I,
get
that
quick. Yeah.
that was actually like when I started lifting. There was a couple other lads who were in Ireland at the time who were young and starting as well, and we all got to like 120, 150 really fast
Hmm.
because everyone was just kind of like, "Oh yeah, that's kind of the pro." You just assume that was the progress you made, you
That's
know.
what
And
we
then
were all at,
obviously,
somewhere
like,
around there. Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think if you can't get to that, you're never going to be good at weightlifting. But if you can get to that, then it's like, okay,
Hmm.
you can, if you make it happen for yourself, you can get a lot better at weightlifting. Like if you can get to 120, 150 within like 4 years or less, like
Yeah. Yeah.
probably,
4 or less.
preferably,
Yeah. Yeah.
you've got good potential, I think, to, you've got good potential to go somewhere if you keep at it after that,
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you can get to it by 4 years, I don't think you've got. It's not that you can't get better, but like
Yeah.
you don't have that big potential.
Yeah, I think I know some people who like they've just been lifting for a few years now and they just can't snatch. They just can't seem to get close to 100. And you just think, well,
Yeah,
like it's fine. Like you will get past it at some point, but
mhm,
it probably
yeah.
shows that you're probably not going to be the kind of person who podiums at a nationals one day, which is fine. Like, and you can still
That,
train and love training,
yeah.
and and I'm
Weightlifting
kind of in
is,
that boat as well.
yeah,
Like it's fine, but like it's
yeah.
worth recognizing the limitations that you have.
Weightlifting is just hard. Like weightlifting is so
Hmm.
hard, and like I was way more biased before because the people I lifted with, I was like lifting with Clarence and stuff, and like the other people were good lifters, and we all progressed really well. And I was like, oh, everyone can get to like 120, 140. Like that shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now
yeah,
as someone, now that I coach a lot of amateurs, lifters and stuff, you're like, oh, like this is, a lot of it's like talent, but some of it's like, people don't want to train 6, 7 days a week. And I'm not saying
hmm
that as in like they're losers. I'm like, fucking dead right, be
yeah,
happier. Like, because weightlifting won't, they're like, you can enjoy weightlifting and not want to be unbelievable. You can still
yeah.
train and just really enjoy weightlifting.
100%. Yeah, when it was like
Yeah.
all I was doing, it's just like
Hmm.
all I thought about was it. Like, I was training at least once a day, sometimes twice. And because like I'm just in a
Hmm.
house of like 5 other weightlifters and we're all trying to just work
Yeah.
out what the order is constantly. And like we would call each
Hmm.
other by our totals or by our Sinclair. Like
Yeah.
that's how much we
No
gave a
way.
shit about like the ranking of
Yeah.
the house. So like if you were at the bottom,
Yeah.
like you couldn't say anything to anyone else because like, oh, you've got a
Yeah.
240 total, so what the fuck do you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and so like
true.
you do everything you can to just get better. And like we
Yeah.
never had a coach, we never had, you know what I mean? But just that's almost all you need sometimes to progress is just an intense atmosphere of trying to get better, and that will kind of do it.
Yeah, just bullying the weights. Like you just need
Yeah.
to accept that like you want to get better. Like there's no other reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Big-
All right, we should wrap this up. Owen, thanks for coming on,
Thank you.
man. Hugely appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's do. I think Josh messaged you about doing a podcast soon, so let's try and get you on the Weightlifting House podcast, and
Yeah, me
with
and
Dare as well, and we can do maybe an episode on coaching because people probably want to hear that, and then let's just talk weightlifting on another one.
Sure, absolutely, be ideal. People love it. Hopefully, the next one I do is the Olympics.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can do some commentary there. So, guys, I'll be back in an hour and 23 minutes with Sergey Putsov for the incredibly exciting 109 kilo session. We'll catch you all there. Sweet.